Good morning, grade twos. It's Mrs. McLeod back for another math lesson. Today, we are going to be moving on to quarter past the hour. We've done a great review on the hour and the half hour, and now we're going to move on to something a little bit harder, but I think you guys can do this. So watch this lesson, and this will help you for your activity sheets that you need to do on the blog today. All right, here we go. Ready to move on. Let's talk about the word quarter when discussing time. First, how many quarters are in a dollar? You may be thinking, Mrs. McLeod, why are we talking about money when we're supposed to be focusing on time? But there is a connection. Do you know how many quarters are in a dollar? A quarter is worth 25 cents, and a dollar is worth 100 cents. So how many quarters equal up to 100? If you guessed 4 or you said 4, then you are correct. And we're going to figure out why that has to do with time. Oh, here's another picture. What does this look like? We just finished this unit. Fractions, that's right. What is this circle split into? You can say the circle is split into fourths, or you can say the circle is split into quarters. 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, 4 quarters. So if we go back to our dollar question, there are 4 quarters in a dollar. So we're going to be talking about just this quarter of our clock. So a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. So remember, we talked about this last week, that each hour when you're going around the clock is worth 5 minutes. And if you count by fives all the way around the clock to get back up to the 12, you get 60 minutes because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So we are just going to focus on today quarter past, which is 15 minutes past the hour. But if you add 15 minutes and 15 minutes and 15 minutes and 15 minutes, you get 60 minutes, which is a whole hour. So let's discuss quarter past. If we say it's quarter past 5, then it would be 5:15. So whenever you see the minute hand point to the 3, that is 15 minutes past the hour. So whenever we're talking about quarter past, your minute hand will always be at the 3. Take a look at the hour hand. If I have a little ruler and I were to measure where this hour hand is, oh, do you notice it's not right at the 5? Well, that makes sense because it's not exactly 5 o'clock. The hour hand only ever points exactly at the number when it's o'clock. But we have moved this minute hand 15 minutes past the hour, which means the hour hand has moved just a little bit past the 5. It is important to remember when you are writing or drawing your own clocks that the hour hand has to show that it's going a little bit past the number, the hour that you're talking about. Let's look at some examples. I went on a bike ride at 3:15. What time was my bike ride? Okay, so here we go. Just going to move me up here so you can see that. There we go. So let's look at the clock first. We notice that the minute hand is exactly on the 3 because we know when we're talking about quarter past, we're talking about 15 minutes after the time. And if we look at the hour hand, it is slightly past the 3. So you can say this is quarter past 3 or 3:15. Grayson rode her horse today. She hopped on Trigger and started riding at 8:15 this morning. What time did Grayson begin her ride? All right, here we go. you can say this as 8:15 or 8:15. And again, if we look at the minute hand, it is right on that 3, which is 15 minutes past the hour, and the hour hand is slightly past the 8, where it should be when we're talking about quarter past the time. Let's read these clocks. Tell what time it is by saying the actual time and the time using quarter past. Let's practice. What time is this? Well, let's look at the minute hand right at the 3. We know that means it's 15 minutes past. And take a look at the hour hand. It's slightly past the 11. It's not at 12 yet, so we would say this is quarter past 11 or 11:15. Right, take a look at this one. Give you guys a second to say the 2 times out loud. Look at the minute hand at the 3, the hour hand slightly past the 2. We would say this is quarter past 2 or 2:15. And our last example of the day, look at the minute hand. Where is it? It's at the 3. And the hour hand, the shorter hand, just slightly past the 4. So we would say that this is quarter past 4 or 4:15. So there's your little lesson on quarter past the hour today. I want to remind you that when you're working with your time and you're doing quarter past, that 5, 10, 15 is where the 3 is. And if you are drawing this on a clock, remember that the hour hand has to go past your hour just a smidge, and that your minute hand is right on the 3. And remember, we mentioned this last week, when you are drawing hands on a clock, they need to be straight and neat. And you have to have a difference between the hour hand, which is a lot shorter, and the minute hand, which is longer. Remember, the minute hand goes right on top of the number, and the hour hand goes slightly above the hour. Okay, so good luck with your work today. And if you have any questions about quarter past, you can discuss it with your teachers this afternoon during your small group sessions. Have a great day, grade 2s, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.